Welcome to the Glow Getters podcast. My name is Kayla Fahey-Ahrndt, and I'm your host. I teach and inspire leaders to step into their productive selves and find their true potential. I'm a passionate creative and scientist with over 8 years of healthcare leadership experience. At age 25, I stepped into my first management role and didn't find the leadership advice I was looking for. So here I'm giving you the tools to end burnout and enjoy a vibrant career and life. Glad you're here to learn and grow with me. Now, on with the show. Hey, Glow Getters podcast listeners, it's Kayla. Welcome to the show. Thanks for joining me today. If you're listening on the day that this drops, it's the first day of fall. It's the first day of autumn, which, if you know me, it is my favorite season. I'm all about it. I'm all about this cooler weather, sweater weather, scarf weather. I'm not as much about the snow later on, so I've never liked that coming. I do enjoy a good summer where it's like, oh, this is a random warm day in the middle of fall. But I do like putting on my flannel, my boots, just getting kind of cozy, you know? So it's just a whole vibe. I'm very excited about it. If you also love fall, let me know on Instagram at Kayla Fahey-Ahrndt. I'd love to hear from you. It's my season, you guys. It's my season. I'm excited. So let's dive into the topic here quickly. I want to let you know it's how to manage up to your boss. So it's a good thing. Don't worry. I'm going to give you 3 really good tips. And we're going to dive right into it. But first, I want to tell you and remind you, if you didn't hear about it, the leadership toolkit course is launching on October 4th. So just a couple weeks from now. So if you haven't done that already, make sure you go to my website at glowgetterslife.com, and then in the menu, click the Leader Toolkit course, join the waitlist, and put your email in there, or you can find that link in the show notes. So the Leadership Toolkit course is 4 modules. It's a video from me with a PDF guide to guide you through the course material, and you get a community online. It's called the Leadership Collaborative Community. I host it. It's a private group. You get access to it where you can ask questions about the course, dive deeper into topics with me, getting one-on-one leadership coaching and support, and also meet other people that are in the course, network, and meet other leaders. So this is a lifetime investment for $50. I think it's really accessible because I just want to help as many people as I can. And also, I just think that it's a great way to at least start out if you're new in your leadership role, or you're in a new organization, or maybe you've been a leader for a while and you want to dip your toe in and dive a little bit deeper into your leadership. You know what? It's an easy thing to do is sign up, invest in yourself, and check out the Leader Toolkit from me. You're also going to get access to any add-on modules that I do. So for example, I'm going to create some extra modules on perfectionism. So if you're like, ooh, that's me, or self-belief, connection, communication, definitely check it out and sign up. So join the waitlist. Again, you can go to my website or the link in the bio and join the waitlist. And the reason I do a waitlist is so that it's just easier for me to make sure I send very tailored emails to people who are interested. So you have all the information in one-stop shop, and it's all organized. All right, so let's get on to the topic. So how to manage up to your boss. Well, here's the thing. What is managing up? It can sound kind of negative, like managing up, like, oof, that sounds forceful. But no, actually what it is proactive leadership. So if you're a leader, you're listening to this, you recognize how busy it is. You have a lot going on. And how awesome is it when you have a direct report who is very high functioning, who takes care of business, who you never really have to worry about if they're going to get the work done. That is an amazing place to be. So it feels really good when you're a leader and you have somebody that you really trust to, move the needle forward, and you don't really have to worry about if it's going to get done. And so I think about managing up as being a very proactive leader, making sure that Your boss is well informed on what you're doing and making sure that you stay aligned. It also means helping them out where needed. So like I said, we're really busy, but also it's just not busy, but just full. Things are full. Stimulation is coming at us all the time from having meetings with other people. Our calendar is very full. By the end of the day, we have several to-do items or action items from meetings. And so it's just nice when you have a direct report who manages up, because again, they're going to be a proactive leader. They're going to be really efficient. These folks tend to do better in their performance reviews because honestly, when you're going to write your reviews, it's like you only have positive things to say about these people because they are an active participant in their leadership and they're not waiting around for the leader to develop them. They're developing themselves. So how do you do this? How do you manage up to your boss? So I'm going to give you 3 tips. The first one is, number 1, keep your boss updated frequently. Ask them how often they'd like status updates from you and follow through. See how this is different than if I'm the boss and I'm like, hey, I would really like to hear from you more. Or, hey, I'd really like to see that document. Or, hey, I think we should meet weekly or bi-weekly. So yes, those are good conversations to have with your boss, but it's much better if you say, hey, especially when you're starting a new role, going into a new organization, or maybe changing up the cadence, making sure you meet with them more frequently. Just saying to them, how often would you like a status update from me? And actually follow through and give them that update. So different leaders are going to have different opinions. For me, I like to get status updates weekly from my direct reports. I think it's a good cadence. I'm very connected with them, and I often talk with these folks every single day, just as a group. And so when we're having one-on-one time, weekly feels like an appropriate cadence. Sometimes we can go every other week because I just know what they're working on. But until we establish that relationship, your boss is going to have a specific comfort level. And so just straight up asking them is so much better than them wondering like, I wonder what so-and-so is working on. You're going to have your email with your status update or, your side conversation with your status update prepared and ready ahead of time so that they have it when they need it. The goal is that I would never have to ask you for your status update as a leader, that it would just come to me because you're prepared and know that, hey, I got to keep people informed. So love that one. The second one is, if you need to meet with your boss, send them a calendar invite after you look at their schedule. Don't wait them to send you an invitation or reach out to you. Again, if your leader is managing a lot of folks or is leading a lot of folks, or we have a lot of action items, it might be on their like schedule one-on-one with so-and-so. But here's the thing. Our calendars might look a lot more full or maybe less full than yours. It's going to look different. And what's so helpful is if a direct report says, you know what, I know we were going to meet about that, or we're going to schedule one-on-ones, I'm going to take care of that. It's just something out of courtesy that for your boss is you then control the cadence that you talked about. You then control the calendar invitation so that if something comes up with your schedule, you can reach out to your boss proactively and say, hey, I have a conflict this week. I'd really like to meet with you. I still value our time. I'm thinking about moving it. I looked at both of our calendars and this worked. And you can just schedule it. I find that so many meetings get dropped because people will reach out and say, what time are you free? It's like, that requires so much energy to go in and like check every single day for like the next 2 weeks for availability. Just go ahead and schedule the meeting. And if it doesn't work for them, they'll just decline or they'll request a different appointment time. It feels so much easier as a leader when I see that my direct reports are just scheduling time with me on my calendar. So if your boss doesn't say this, maybe ask them about it, because I always tell my leaders, hey, just look at my calendar. It's updated. Put something on there if you want to meet with me. If you got something comes up in the middle of the week outside of our one-on-one, just look at my calendar. It's updated. All right, so far we have, number 1, keep your boss updated frequently. and ask them how often they'd like status updates from you and follow through. And number 2, if you need to meet with them, send them a calendar invite after you look at their schedule. Don't wait for them to send you an invitation or reach out to you. 3, ask your boss for feedback. And this can be scary, but I think it's so much easier when your direct report says like, how can I do better? Or what should I be doing? So let me give you some tips for ways to ask for feedback. So the first question you can ask is there anything you'd like me to be working on that I'm not? So as you're sharing status updates, your boss is going through their mind like, okay, tick, tick, tick. They're marking all the boxes for the things I think they should be working on. But maybe they didn't see, a certain project they thought you were working on. This is a great opportunity to sort of beat them to it and say, is there anything that I should be working on or that you'd like me to be working on that I'm not? And then they can insert their feedback there. That way you always know that what you are working on is correct. This kind of feeds into the second way that you can ask is, are my priorities aligned with yours? So oftentimes, your goals and all of the tasks and projects you work on are going to be related to the strategic goals of the organization. And you want to be aligned with those because at the end of the day, that's what's going to move the needle forward for the company, for your clients, for your patients, whoever you serve. And so a manager and a leader's boss is to ensure that their team is aligned and working towards those shared common goals. And so just a simple question of, are my priorities aligned with yours? Gives them an opportunity to say, yeah, I think you're doing all the right things. You're staying the course. I think you're working on everything that I was thinking you should be. I wouldn't change anything. Or they might say, you know what, this project's really important and I think, I see the value, but in this season, I think maybe we need to put that on the back burner and prioritize this other thing. It gives you a really simple out and shows that you actually do care what you are working on. The next question you can ask is, how can I improve this idea? So I think sometimes as managers, as leaders, we want, our direct report to bring us ideas. And part of our job is to help others grow. And so sometimes that means intentionally not offering solutions. It means letting you figure this out. But I think if you're lost or if you are really wanting feedback on an idea, if you're trying to pitch it to someone else, a really nice way to invite feedback in the door is just asking for it and saying, how can I improve this idea? As your leader is going to maybe have a little bit of a higher level insight as to where this idea could go within the organization and maybe some of the the places it has to stop to get approval before it moves forward. And so it's always nice to hear, how can I improve this idea from my leader? Because it shows me that they really care about their work and that they value my opinion and that they do really want to succeed. So I always love hearing about that. The last question you can ask to get feedback from your boss is my performance meeting your expectations? If not, what can I do to improve? So maybe this seems like a hard question to ask, but it doesn't have to be said so formally. You can say, do you think I'm doing well in my role? Otherwise, what do you think I can do to get better at it? How can I improve? This is such a good question to ask maybe mid-year or any time before your performance review. We never want to get caught off guard, and you shouldn't ever be caught off guard with your review for the end of the year. So I think if you are very outward and pointed in asking this question, that gives your boss some time to reflect. And they can even say, you know what, that's such a good question. I would love to talk with you more about that. Let's meet next time and talk about goals and your performance so that we can get aligned. You might also suggest that you talk about your goal progress at least quarterly. I find that, it's really helpful to talk about them you should be working on them every day, right? Or every week, have an awareness. You could talk about it monthly, but realistically, quarterly is probably just an easier cadence. And so bring it up in your one-on-one. Am I doing as well as I should be? And if not, what can I do to improve? And it's likely you're a great leader. They're going to give you affirmations of how well you're doing. But they might say, you know what, here's one area that I think you could do better at. So that is the last tip to manage your boss. Ask your boss for feedback. And I gave you the ideas of saying, is there anything you'd like me to be working on that I'm not? Are my priorities aligned with yours? How can I improve this idea? And is my performance meeting your expectations? If not, what can I do to improve? And the other two tips were keep your boss updated frequently. And 2, if you need to meet with them, send them a calendar invite after you look at their schedule. Don't wait for them to send you an invite or reach out to you. All right, I hope these tips were helpful for being a more proactive leader, showing your boss you're on top of things, helping them out, making life easier for them, which is going to result in a better performance review for you and your faster growth for you as a leader and building trust with your boss in a much faster way that feels really, really good and genuine. All right. Don't forget to leave me a rating and review if you enjoyed this podcast. I really want to hear what you guys think. And remember, I'm doing a drawing for anyone who leaves a review to win some swag and some extra tips and tricks from me in your inbox. So make sure you leave a review if you haven't. I know there's a lot of you that listen and haven't left reviews yet. So if you're one of those, please do so. It really helps the podcast get out there and reach more people. And it also lets me know that I'm doing a good job. And you can also let me know what other topics you want to hear about. All right. And lastly, as a reminder, don't forget to join the waitlist for the Leader Toolkit course and think about getting prepared and more proactive in your leadership after this episode. I think it's really going to help so many of you. And I can't wait to see you inside the Leadership Collaborative community once the course launches on October 4th. All right, everyone, take care and be a light. Talk soon. All right, that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening, everybody. I wanted to let you know about something new that I'm doing. If you could please leave me a rating and review on iTunes or write in your Apple Podcasts app, I would so appreciate it. Each week, I'm going to be doing a drawing and sending an email to a winner just to say thank you with some treats, tips, and a little bit of extras because I really want to get this podcast out to more people and I want to hear how it's helping you, getting feedback about what you'd love to hear about and what you love about the podcast so I can keep doing that. Also, if you'd like to connect with me on a deeper level, check out my website at glowgetterslife.com. You'll find links to my About Me page so you can learn about me and my journey in leadership. You'll find links to my blog, my podcast for more episodes, and to my YouTube channel. And you can also find links to the templates and leadership planners I've created, as well as my free resource library. All right, thanks so much. And until next time, be a light.